everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner. Welcome back. All right, today I have an adorable bunny quilt that I recently custom machine quilted for my client Sandra, and I had so much fun machine quilting this quilt. There's something about little whimsical quilts like this that just make me happy. All quilts make me happy, but of course this is another one that really made me happy. In today's fun little video, I am going to be sharing my process of machine quilting this fun little border. So this fun border design is kind of like a play on ribbon candy, a fun way to just dress that ribbon candy up a little bit more. Plus, I'm going to be sharing a few tips and tricks about using my blue Mark Be Gone marker to do a little bit of marking. Speaking of products that I'm going to be using here today, I'm going to be doing all of my quilting here on my Gammill 22-inch machine. You will see that I'm going to be stitching in this stitch regulated mode, and I do have my stitch length set at 13 stitches per inch. The thread that I'm going to be using here today on my top, I have So Fine color number 403. I love this color when blending with something that's a little bit more off-white. This 403 just blends so beautifully. And then in my bobbin, I have been loving the super bobs lately. So these are the new pre-wound bobbins from Superior Threads. It's the bottom line thread on these bobbins. And I have absolutely been loving the way that they run here on my Gammill machine. So that's what I'll be using on my bobbin, and I am using color number 624. Now I am going to do just a little bit of marking. So in today's video, you'll see I'm going to use this long ruler that I purchased from the Quilted Pineapple. I am also going to be doing a little bit of quilting on this border using the Sway 3 machine quilting ruler. You could do all of your marking and then do the quilting with the Sway 3. I just chose to use two different rulers because I'm crazy. Actually, really, because I like the really long straight edge on this ruler. So like I said, I will also be using our Sway 3 machine quilting ruler and again, the blue Mark Be Gone marker to do a bit of marking. I am so dang excited for this quilt. So in today's video, I'm sharing just a sneak peek. We're focusing on just the border, but I do have a brand new exclusive video available now in the Piece and Quilt Academy, which is an online library on our website, pieceandquilt.com. In the Piece and Quilt Academy, there are over 130 machine quilting videos where it's basically like you're hanging out in the studio with me for a day or a week or several as I machine quilt real quilts from start to finish. I share lots of tips and tricks and secrets that you'll only find in the Piece and Quilt Academy. So don't forget to enroll. In addition to the 130 videos that you get when you do enroll, we also add 2 brand new videos every single month. So the library is growing every month. It's seriously so awesome. So like I said, find all the details plus enroll over on our website, pieceandquilt.com. Let's hop over to my machine and let's get stitching. Before we get started on the machine quilting, here is a look at the fun sashing design after my machine quilting is all complete. Now here you can see a little sneak peek too of those bunnies and also the background fillers. You're not going to want to miss this awesome Piece and Quilt Academy video. Let's hop over to my machine and let's do a little bit of marking before we begin quilting. After I've loaded this quilt on my machine, I'm going to do just a little bit of marking. So this design, this border or sashing design, is one that I don't want to lose into my binding. There are some designs, if I'm quilting simple straight lines, I'm not worried about my design going all the way off of the quilt. But with a design like this, where I don't want to lose the side of my design, I'll start out by using a long straight ruler and the Mark Be Gone marker, and I will mark 1/4 inch in. This is just a reference line so that I know as I'm machine quilting that I will only quilt to that line. I don't want to ever cross that line. Then when the quilt is bound, those outside edge of the design will not be cut off. So let's do a little bit of stitching. This fun design is a fun play on ribbon candy. The only difference is I'm adding in a little circle as I bounce back and forth from one side to the other. I I actually sometimes think when you're starting out machine quilting, this version of the ribbon candy can be a little bit easier. If you think about starting with a half circle, and then when you bounce across to the opposite side of your design, stitch a full circle, and then work back and forth with those full circles, you can create this beautiful ribbon candy inspired design. Now, another little thing that you could do to help you out is add some markings. So before you start machine quilting a design like this, you could use something small, even like a dime or a penny. I use little tools that I have around my house like buttons all the time. So you could mark on, as you can see here, the left outside and also the right inside circles, and then just work your way back and forth across the design, bouncing with those circles. Now, when you're stitching out a ribbon candy design, you just eliminate that circle. So it's a fun way to dress up that simple classic ribbon candy. Now, as I work my way all the way up this sashing, in my cornerstones, I've also marked that line with my Mark Be Gone marker. Again, this design I don't want to lose in those cornerstone blocks. So I'm using that curved end on the Sway 3 machine quilting ruler and stitching a point-to-point melon across my block. Then I switch to the concave side of the Sway 3 machine quilting ruler and stitch right back to where I started. So you can see there that it doesn't go all the way out to that outside corner. So once I've stitched that corner, you will also notice that I stitched in the ditch around the corner. I just love the look of stitch in the ditch, so it's something I often do. But once I complete that corner, then I'll just work right back into that fun border design. I love how this design turned out. I love how this whole entire quilt turned out. You've got to hop over to our website, peaceandquilt.com, where you can enroll in the Peace and Quilt Academy and start feeling inspired. Have a great day, everybody.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award? He was outstanding in his field.
Hey everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner. Oh, did I hit record? I should have known. Machine quilting this fun little border. So So this fun border design is kind of like the thread that I'm going to be using here today. On my top, I have another edit. I was gonna say so kind. I have So Fine color number 40 here on my Gammill machine. So that's what I'll be using on the another one on my bobbin, and I am using peaceandquilt.com. Let's hop over to my machine and let's get stitching. I just remembered I forgot to say wool batting. That's what I'm using on this quilt.